you and I have kind of met each other online, which is kind of interesting. But through our conversation, we found out that we almost had a missed meetup ages ago. Isn't that crazy?
That's really crazy. We're about 2,000 miles away from each other now, and we actually lived one block from each other.
That is so wild. When
Yeah.
we found that out, that was just a blow away moment. It was like, no way, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. Really like small world stuff, man.
Yeah. Well, hey guys, welcome back to the third edition of the You and Me sessions. And I think spring is trying to come, and we're getting rid of all the snow. The grass looks disgusting, it's all matted down, but that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we've got Mark from N Motorcycles, and he's going to tell us all about his crazy adventures and all of his fun. And actually, it's already started, so let's join into the conversation. So you have a YouTube channel that obviously I follow as well, of painting the bikes and such. How did you come up with that? Just, I'm at work one day, I'm like, let's just record some of this stuff and throw it out there.
Kind in a way, and then a place that stores it so that I don't have to keep a million videos at my house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I thought, if anybody needs any help, they got a question or something, they can reach out and say, hey, I actually have one of those bikes. What color are you using on it? Because none of these codes for these bikes are in computers, or no one really knows what to use for them.
Okay.
Unless someone's going through and actually trying to match them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty neat. Have you had people reach out in that
Oh,
way?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
And a lot of us up until today only knew you maybe by your hands, the sound of a spray gun and an exhaust fan. So here you are.
Yeah,
And
I don't have
look
much
at your
talking
shirt.
content.
Your shirt. That's
Fanboy.
yeah, that's cool. Brings me to another question. How did you find my channel so early? You had to have been one of the first non-family members to subscribe, and here you are, still subscribing, commenting. It's just fantastic. I can't appreciate it so much.
Oh, yeah. Just honestly, just looking for typing in cafe bikes.
Okay.
And going through that. I love cafe bikes. They're cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a bike that I actually got for my wife a long time ago from my uncle, a 72 CB100. And I kind of restored it. And then we moved down here and it's all tore apart. And I was going to bring it back I turned it into a cafe bike. So I just kind of looked around, see what people are doing, and ran across your channel. And you're just like, hey, I'm just doing this. I don't know if it's the right thing or not. Yeah.
And yeah, luckily I haven't had too many people yell at me about tearing old, a seemingly pretty nice looking bike into maybe basically destroying it, kind of. I haven't had too many people like that.
There's millions of them. So, I mean, some can go back original, some can be cut up.
Mm-hmm.
As long as they're on the road, what's the difference?
Most of us know you by painting motorcycle parts and interesting components, right? How did you ever get started in that? And is it something that you really like to do, or is it just a job?
I'm a painter by trade. That's what I do. And I used to do a lot of classic cars. Now I do bikes. I've always been in the bikes. It's when you do something every day, I still love it, but it's not really artistic. You know what I mean? It's just cool being able to take some of these old bikes and bring them back.
Right. That's actually a good point. Most of the stuff that you do is like back to the original, back to the stock. All the fine details of how it was when it was first created. Do you tap into airbrushing and do custom work like that, or is it mostly just replica?
It's mostly replica. When I was younger, I would do a little bit of custom stuff here and there. Honestly, I was never that great at it. Uh, I can't airbrush, so it's just not what I'm really into. So I never really dove into it. I've done flames and stuff like that, but it's not much fun for me.
So living in Florida, you get to ride most of the year. Do you ride all year? And do you have special routes that you like to take on like, I'm just done with what's going on at home. I'm going to go for a blast and just have a good ride.
Yeah, I ride almost every day, back and forth to work. I really don't get out much for fun anymore. I got young kids, and right now that's not what I get to do too much.
Yeah.
And that'll come back, but
Right.
at least I get to ride, and I'll ride rain or shine. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter, because down here it can rain for an hour
Right.
and then clear right up.
Good chance to hop in a restaurant, grab a snack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you ride solo all the time, or does your wife ride with you?
Nah, she used to. Once we had kids, she doesn't get on the bike anymore. I don't even have a bike with a back seat anymore.
Yeah.
Every bike I own doesn't have a back seat.
Sounds like my bikes.
Yeah.
I got one, and because Chase likes to go riding, but yeah, Lori doesn't like riding with me either.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not that she's afraid of it. She'd rather go in a car. Do you prefer motorcycles to be stock or modified?
I like stock kind of looking, but I don't mind exhaust, maybe a windshield, little stuff like that. On that's basically on the 90s sport bikes, but older stuff I like either stock or, cafe. I actually really love cafe bikes,
Mm-hmm.
just the free or do whatever you want to it,
Do you think, for me, the reason why I like the cafe bikes is because I think it was like the birthplace of where we are now for sport bikes. And obviously,
Yeah.
you're a sport bike fan, and you think that's the same reason why you're kind of drawn to those?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. They were using what they had at the time.
Yeah. You have an interesting background that you don't really exploit too much. I think there was one video that you had about like bikes I've owned, and it was kind of a circle through, and there were some like still shots of you racing motorcycles. How did you get
Yeah.
to that, and do you still do that?
I don't. I stopped when I moved down here, but when I got kids and I got to go to work, I can't get hurt. I mean, I can't. I miss it a lot. I wish I could do it again, and maybe someday I'll get back on the track. But right now, I can't do it. I can't do it right now.
How did you fall into that? You know, did you pursue it, or someone seek you out, or did you go from streets to let's do it for real? Or
I always rode on the street, and I just wanted to go to the track and do it. And the best way to do it is just get a race bike and go do it.
yeah,
And I did it for, I don't know, 12, 13 years.
nice.
Yeah, so quite a while. It was fun when we were younger. We got to drive around the country and, camp and do all kinds of stuff, a lot of fun.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. You mentioned this to me a long time ago about potential selling bikes with Iconic. And you have a relationship with those guys. How did you get tapped in with those guys? Because they're way across the country from where you are now.
Yeah, the owner, I met him before he even started Iconic. I bought some parts from him.
Okay.
I bought a gas tank from him, and I fixed it, and I sent him a picture, and he's like, "Holy cow, man, who's your painter?" And I was like, "Well, that would be me."
Nice.
And yeah, so it's pretty much just kind of worked that way. And that business is just blown up. He's doing an awesome job, him and Avi.
Yeah, I mean I follow them on Instagram on your recommendation, and they got some wild stuff in there.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool.
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy that some of those bikes. I mean, they sold one for $200,000.
Yeah, isn't that wild?
Yeah,
And for one thing, to have a bike like that too, to find a client that would pay that much for it, it's impressive.
yeah. I wish I had one of those bikes. I'd sell it for half price right now. I don't think so. What build's coming your way next? What's going on there?
Well, we've talked about this already, and it's about the garage. You got to finish the garage. Once that's done, motorcycle wise, we've got I got to finish my sister's bike. That's the GL 500. Once that gets done, and it'll get out of the garage. I picked up an 89 CBR 600 for free, one of those free bikes. So
Yeah.
we'll do some work on that. And then Chase and I, we picked up an 84 GS 1100 Suzuki.
Perfect beginner bike.
What's that?
That perfect beginner bike.
Perfect beginner bike, yeah. But that one's got the bags and fairing on it. I mean, it was Suzuki's attempt, I think, to compete with Goldwing, and I think they failed at it. There was some things about it that people didn't like, so it didn't sell very well. It was a 1 or 2 year crack before they came out with their actual version. I can't remember what that was, but from then on, Suzuki did better in that realm. But that'll probably be later. That'll probably be just get that up and running, and that'll be Chase and mine cruiser bike for the summer. Once we get Emily's bike done, my sister's bike, we'll probably bring Chase's bikes home from grandma's house and start tapping into them, because I know people are interested in seeing it. And that's going to be a learning experience for both of us, right? Chase is going to be doing most of the work, but that's going to be a full tear down, and I've never done that. So
yeah, and we're curious to see what his ideas are.
Yeah, he's got some, and when we start pushing those videos out, he's got like a vision board, so to speak. You know, it's kind of just some pictures here and there, but he's got some color schemes that are kind of conflicting with with my taste, but it'll be all right. It'll be his. So I mean, he can do what he wants, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Awesome.
You mentioned a couple of times about potential expansion at your place, getting some stuff going on. Maybe we can wrap this up with that. Talk about your future plans.
Oh yeah, just gonna be building a new garage to add to it. That way I can get my stuff out. It's down here we don't have basements, so any overflow from the house goes into a garage. Okay. So you got to have 2 garages.
Yeah, that's a must. But if you had the opportunity to do something over, maybe get a different result in life, what would it be?
Honestly, I don't want to redo anything over because I like where I'm at now.
Right.
And I guess all that stuff, whether good or bad, it all brought me right where I'm at. And I got it pretty good.
Yeah. Well, living in a one climate state ish, that's going to be my dream someday too. So,
yeah, well, that's what I originally told my wife, when we had our first kid. I was like, if we don't do it now, then, once they started in school and stuff like that, it's too hard.
Yeah.
Exactly. Might as well buy the retirement house now, and then we don't have to do it later.
I should have thought of that too. I mean, that's brilliant.
Well, at one point we could have shared a truck down.
Exactly. I just can't. It's always something. Man, it is warm. Thanks so much, Mark, for joining into the conversation, and thank you guys for watching. If you stayed this long, maybe take a look at this video right here. This is the first one we did with Chase, and if you really like what we're doing, take a look at this video right here. That's one we did with my sister. Until the next time, guys, this is Mike with Ace Cafe Bikes. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.